हरि करना।
Now let's look into the types of research. So there are several types of research which can be broadly categorized into the following six or seven categories. Out of that, the first one is basic research. Basic research is also known as a fundamental or pure research, and most of the people call it as a pure research. So just remember this: either we can call it as a basic research or a fundamental or a pure research. So this type of research aims to expand our understanding of a subject or phenomenon without any immediate practical application. It's often conducted in academic or scientific settings and focuses on generating knowledge and theories. That's what is our basic research. So, basic research is also known as fundamental or pure research. So, examples of basic research include studies on the fundamental principles of physics, chemistry, or biology, or investigations into the cognitive processes of learning or memory. So, let's take one example for the basic research: a study on the genetic basis of a rare disease that affects a small population, aiming to understand the underlying mechanisms and potential treatments. And another example, an investigation into the properties of a new material with unique characteristics, aiming to advance the field of material science and potentially open up new applications. This is another example for basic research. Now let's move on to the second type of research, that is applied research. So this type of research seeks to apply existing knowledge and theories to real world problems or situations. It aims to find solutions or develop practical strategies to address specific issues or challenges in fields such as medicine, engineering, education, or business. So, this is what an applied research, and this is widely used in now examples of applied research include studies on the effectiveness of a new medical treatment and the impact of a social policy on a specific population, or the development of a new technology for a sustainable energy education. If you want to see a few more examples for applied research, a study on the impact of a new training program on the productivity and job satisfaction of employees in a company, aiming to improve their performance and well-being. And another example, an evaluation of the effectiveness of a community based intervention to reduce the incidence of a specific disease in a population, aiming to improve public health outcomes. So, this is what an applied research. And so, next, a research type that is in pipeline for us is quantitative research. This is very, very important. Quantitative research. So, this type of research involves the collection and analysis of numerical data to identify patterns, trends, and relationships. It typically involves the use of statistical methods to analyze data and draw conclusions. So, this is what is our quantitative research, and this is what we do at the end of the day, not the collection and collection of the data. So collection of the data will be some other ways and some other by some other one. So what we will do is from analysis of numerical data to identify patterns, trends, and relationships, and then building a model out of it, and then rest all the model will take care of. So quantitative research, we'll take some examples for the quantitative research. A survey that measures the prevalence and severity of anxiety symptoms among college students using standardized questionnaire and statistical analysis to determine prevalence and correlates of anxiety. So that's what we call it as a quantitative research. And an experimental study that investigates the effectiveness of a new medication for reducing blood pressure in hypertensive patients. So, using randomization and control groups to compare the treatment and placebo effects. This is also comes under quantitative research. Okay, so this is where we fall in. So that's the reason I want to use this and I want to explain this. Of course, there is some amount of applied research in that also. Data scientists were used. It's not that data scientists and artificial intelligence engineers are not used in applied research or basic research. They will be used there also, but mostly 90% of data scientists will fall into the category of quantitative research, and there they will be working on quantitative or qualitative research. Mainly they will be working on at that location. So then we have qualitative research. So this type of research focuses on understanding and interpreting human behavior, opinions, experiences, and perceptions. So it involves the collection and analysis of non numerical data such as interviews, observations, and written or visual materials. That's what I'm telling. So most of the data scientists fall into either quantitative research or qualitative research, because of course they won't be collecting the data. So data collection will be done by some other person, and then the research again, your analysis of numerical data, identifying the patterns, trends, and relationships, and building model out of it, and the model will take care rest of it. Okay, so that's what our qualitative research. So now let's look into the some of the examples of qualitative research type. So qualitative research, and one example, a widely used example for qualitative research or is an ethnographic study that explores the experiences and perspectives of immigrants who have recently arrived in a new country, using in depth interviews and participant observation to understand their culture, their cultural adaptation, and identity formation processes. This is widely used example. No, this is the a task where this qualitative research is widely used. Then another example, a case study that examines the challenges and the successes of a non-profit organization that provides support services to homeless individuals using open-ended interviews and document analysis to understand their organizational culture and strategies. So that's what qualitative research. So uh, quantitative research and qualitative research are very important. That's why you need to understand this qualitative and quantitative research better, so that the data scientist or machine learning engineer, whoever works on the model, will have a clue from where this data is coming. It could be IoT also. It could be IoT also. Then we have Mixed methods research. This type of research combines both quantitative and qualitative research approaches. It involves the collection and analysis of both numerical and non numerical data to provide a more comprehensive understanding of a research question or problem. So, the example for this mixed methods research is, let's take this example. Yeah. A study that combines survey data and qualitative interviews to investigate the factors that influence the job satisfaction and retention among nurses in a hospital setting, using both statistical analysis and thematic coding to analyze the data. That's what, when you bring a qualitative interviews, that's a qualitative research with the quantitative research, and that brings the mixed methods research. And this would be the data sourcing for a data scientist. From there the data comes, and then on top of that, data scientist has to analyze the data, identify the patterns, trends, and the relationships, and then build a model on it, and then model will look after this respective problem statement later. So another example, a program evaluation that uses a randomized controlled trial design and focus group discussions to assess the impact and feasibility of a school based intervention to promote healthy eating habits among children. So this is one more example for mixed methods research. So now let's look into the sixth one, which is review research. This type of research involves the synthesis and analysis of existing research studies on a particular topic or subject. It aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the current state of knowledge, identify research gaps, and suggest areas for future. So that's what is our review research. So review research, an example from this is a systematic review that synthesizes findings of multiple studies on the effectiveness of cognitive behavioral therapy. Example: cognitive behavioral therapy for treating dispersion, for treating depression, and using rigorous inclusion and exclusion criteria and meta-analysis to generate overall effect sizes, and a scoping review that maps out the current state of research on the intersection of technology and mental health, using a systematic and iterative process to identify key themes and research gaps. This is also called as a review research. So these are all six widely used review. These are all six widely used types of research, and there is one more research type which is called as action research. So this type of research is often used in fields such as education, social work, and community development. It involves a cyclical process of planning, implementing, reflecting, and adjusting interventions or changes in the real world settings with the aim of improving practices or addressing issues.